so Lewis wanted to know why we picked this location and if we're going to do any more locations. To answer the first part of the question, basically we were lucky enough to have access to this site, which was exactly where we wanted to be, which was right in the heart of East London. Shoreditch is a, really forward-thinking and progressive area, and we just felt that there was a hole in the market around here for something a little bit more than one of the big chains. And what better place to do it than a forward-thinking, creative, media, tech-based place like Shoreditch. That's why we're based here. In terms of expansion, yes, we're definitely looking to expand. We're already looking at some sites, some of them more kind of in the heart of Shoreditch, down there, towards Hoxton Square. Okay, so James asked about our sign and our cinema sign that you may have seen. It's something we get asked about loads. Basically what inspired it was just seeing it on other places, seeing it on old cinemas. It's on a couple of buildings in New York, there's quite a similar thing. And we just thought it was an amazing thing just to have this kind of glowing beacon of light over what's quite a dark and dingy roundabout. And also just the ability to put our little slogans and messages up there alongside our brand name would just get people talking. It's a bit of fun. And it's a great way to differentiate yourself. We put rude slogans, stuff about sex, stuff about alcohol, stuff about music, stuff about, even the odd drug reference, all these kind of different things. It's just to get people talking, create a little bit of controversy, and it's just designed to be an antidote to every little helps, or just these standard, generic, boardroom thought-up slogans, if you like. So it was just to have a little bit of fun, get people talking, really. So thank you, Wilson, for the kind words about the shop. In terms of the pipeline in the future, we have got a lot planned. So you may have heard we've just opened our recording studio upstairs, so that's now available for daily hire. It's the mother of all recording studios. It really is amazing, and for people in that industry, they absolutely love it. It's a great space. Plus you get to be above a coffee shop, which is always handy if you're going to be locked in there for days on end. The other thing, and this is actually the first time I've kind of officially announced this, but we actually got our alcohol licence, so we're going to be open till 11 PM during the week and 1 AM Fridays and Saturdays. We're going to start serving beers, wines, and some basic cocktails and stuff, really amazing wines, along with some tapas, some cheese balls, and maybe things like pizza. I'm not really sure yet, but certainly an expanded food menu. And then even more exciting than that, we've also got the whole of this courtyard space to the back. So Shoreditch Grind sits, it's a circular building, it sits on a little piece of land, but actually the footprint of the shop is only on about a fifth of the land. We've actually got a lot of outdoor space to the rear. So we've got some really exciting plans to fence that off, deck it, put trees in there, and make it an amazing outdoor space where people can drink the coffee along with the alcohol in the summer and the expanded food menu. So yeah, we've only just started really in terms of what we've got now. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming. Okay, so Jack wanted to know why on earth we put a recording studio at a coffee shop, and that's a pretty good question that we get asked quite a lot. I think basically we wanted to do something that brought our two passions together, which were coffee and music. And we think they're things that go, really do go hand in hand. There's a lot of synergy between the two. They're both really creative. They're both fun things that we love. So, we had the space upstairs, luckily, and we just thought it'd be a perfect space to put a recording studio in. There is a real lack of recording studio space in Shoreditch. There's a real high demand for it, and it just means we get to bring our two passions together, really, which is music and coffee. Plus, it's cool for the customers to see something a little bit different. We deliberately put a window in, so if you pop upstairs to the toilet, you can have a look through and see what's going on. It just adds a different, cool angle. Okay, so Rebecca asked if anything shocking has happened along the way, or if anything we weren't expecting has happened. I think, to be honest, the answer to that is tons of stuff we didn't expect to happen along the way. Everything from, I think about 3 days ago, after all this rain, we suddenly had a little swimming pool on the roof, and it was starting to run into the recording studio. That's not what you sign up for when you open a coffee shop. I think, the truth is tons of unexpected stuff will happen. Like, we had to work at getting the staff rotoring right, so we had enough people to provide the service, but we weren't also, spending too much money on staff. I guess it's all the little things like that you don't even really think about. You just kind of think, it'll be easy, we'll get some staff, we'll get a manager, we'll do this. I guess just really learning the journey has been the shock, and just really coming to terms with the number of different skills and things you have to do. And I think you just need to be able to think on your feet. Like, you need to just be able to react, make decisions, get stuff done. You kind of just need to work hard at it and keep going, and hopefully it'll sort itself out. But yeah, we've definitely had a few bumps and shocks along the way. plumbing, electrics, all of these things, just like when you start building a house, all become a nightmare. So if you're going to refurb somewhere, expect a lot of that. Keep going, and you have to just get over these shocks, and ultimately it does get to a point where it settles down. You know, we're a year in now, things have started to calm down a little bit, and you get into a good groove and a good flow, and you realise that all of the hard work was worth it. Okay, so Christina asked how it's been working with a partner and setting the place up with a partner. Well, having a partner in a startup is definitely something I would recommend. I think ideally what you need is someone whose skill set complements yours. I think if you've got two people who both want to do the same thing, that potentially is not going to work so well. But with myself and my partner Kaz is very creative. His background is as a musician. He was part of the Body Rockers, so he's amazing in terms of sorting out the look and the feel. He was responsible for the brand and how things look. So that's really worked well, because that's not necessarily where my skills are, which is more in a business and operational and commercial background. So I think if you can get a co-founder, that you can work well with, because you will fight and you will argue. It's inevitable. It's kind of like a marriage. Like, it's inevitable you're going to have some problems. You need someone you can get along with, and also if you can get someone with skill sets that complement yours, that makes a huge difference. And it's great just to have someone to kind of experience the highs and the lows of the journey with as well. That's really helpful. So if you can find the right person, it's definitely something I'd recommend. So Franklin was asked what the biggest challenge has been so far. He's also got his own business. I'd say the biggest challenge actually was getting open in the first place, to be honest. That was a huge challenge. Like, we took on this building, had to do a huge amount of work to it, and to be honest, we didn't really know what we were doing. We put walls up, we took walls down, just trying to get the layout and the feel exactly right. So getting open itself was a huge challenge. And then you suddenly realise, actually, all I've done is the first 1% here, and there is so much to run your own business that you don't realise. You know, HR, dealing with people, contracts, dealing with payroll, accounting, like all of this stuff, and you think, you know, I just wanted to set up a coffee shop, and now all of a sudden I've got to deal with these huge amount of things. I think my advice really would just be kind of take one bit at a time, try and, you know, I have this rule of every time I come here, which is, you know, most days, I always try and leave with it being a tiny little bit better. Like, if I've just done one thing, if I've just changed the till, or I've called the plumber to fix a leak, or whatever I've done, I always try and just come in and come out with it being a tiny bit better. And that works quite well for me. I think just be prepared, anyone who's going to start their own business, that you have to, you know, it's a big, wide variety of skills and things you have to do, and you have to adapt, and you have to pick them up along the way. But it's worth it. Okay, so Caroline's question was about finding a work-life balance. Can't say I've got the answer, to be honest. I run another company during the day as well, and I'm in the process of setting up a third, so trying to find a work-life balance can be difficult. I think, you know, I'm lucky that I've been able to recruit a really amazing team. I think that's been the key, really. Although it was crazy at the start, like myself and Kaz were in here at 5 a.m. and we opened for the first time at 6 a.m. We were still here sanding these stool tops that we sit on now, you know. So obviously getting open, it was crazy, but since then we've managed to recruit some amazing baristas and an amazing manager, great staff, and really that's been the key to allowing us to step back slightly from the day-to-day, you know, allow them to take over and do their job, and that does give you a little bit of breathing space to kind of have a life and do other stuff. But having said that, you do need to be prepared to put the hours in. Like, it's not easy. Having your own business can be amazing. You can do amazing things to the people around you. It gives people jobs. It does all these things. It really has a life of its own. But you do have to be prepared to put the work in and put the hours in. And you need to, you know, you need to be all over your own business. You really do need to be on top of it. So it's something I'm still working at, but I'll let you know if I ever find the perfect answer. Okay, so Christopher's question was about, you know, the advantages and disadvantages of being kind of self-employed versus employed. I think, you know, I've done and I continue to do both. I think there's massive advantages to having your own business. You make your own rules, you can do your own thing, you live by your own, you know, your own mistakes. If you do something and it works, great. If you don't, you've only got yourself to answer to. I think, you know, when you're employed, you get all sorts of things. You have a bit more stability, you get holidays, you get sick pay, you get all that kind of stuff. So ideally, I think, you know, the ideal situation for me is to get to the point where you have multiple income streams, so that if one gets a little bit better, one gets a little bit worse, they kind of offset each other, and you can still survive and keep going. I think you do have to have a certain kind of mindset to want to take on your own business, and I think if you've got that inside you, you'll already know it, and you'll probably just be kind of waiting for the right opportunity. I do think that's kind of a thing that's built into some people and it's not built into others. But, I would say the younger you are as well, why not give it a go? Because, my view is if you're 40 and you're married and you've got all responsibilities and stuff, it's going to be much more difficult to take that punt. Just give it a go while you're younger. If it doesn't work, you can always try something else.